Hello friends, welcome to Technique. This is Nirmal here, and in this video we're going to do a comparison of the Honor 7C with the Honor 9 Lite. So we've been getting a lot of requests on what are the differences between these two devices and which is a better device to buy in this price segment, because both these devices are in the 10 to 12k price segment. So which is better and what are the features these offer, that we'll cover in this video. So let's get started. So there is a difference in terms of specifications and features being offered on these two devices. So we'll analyze all those things and we'll tell you which is a better smartphone to buy. Now let's get started. First up, let's have a look at the design and build quality. Now design wise, you can see that the Honor 7C is made of metal construction, while we have glass panel on the front and back on the Honor 9 Lite, which adds a premium looking feel to the Honor 9 Lite when compared to the Honor 7C. The Honor 7C is also slightly bigger in screen size compared to the 9 Lite. In terms of the hardware buttons, you can see that both these devices have a power and volume keys on the right side. The bottom panel houses the 3.5mm audio jack, the micro USB charging slot, the speaker unit, and the left side houses the SIM card slot, and the top panel does not have any openings or slot. So design wise, there isn't much of a difference in terms of the hardware buttons and placement, but we feel the Honor 9 Lite is a slightly better looking device because of the glass finish, and it gives a premium looking feel to the device, and also it's a pretty compact device. But if you're a person who loves larger displays, then the Honor 7C makes a better choice. Now next up, let's have a look at the display. So we have a 5.99 inch HD plus resolution display, while we have 5.65 inches of full HD plus resolution display on the Honor 9 Lite. So it's HD plus versus full HD plus, and we feel the display on the Honor 9 Lite is definitely better because of the smaller screen size and higher resolution display. But on the other hand, the display on the Honor 7C is quite decent for this price segment, but it's not as good as the Honor 9 Lite. So that's the display aspect. Neither of these devices have any display protection offered. So that's the display aspect of these two devices. Now next up, let's talk about the software. So this is one area where there is no major difference. You can see that both these devices run on the Android 8.0 Oreo out of the box, and we have EMUI 8.0 out of the box on these two devices. So no major difference. So the features being offered on these two devices are exactly the same. So there is no difference between these two devices. Now talking about the performance. So we have a difference here. We have the Snapdragon 450 octa-core chipset with either 3 or 4GB RAM, 32 and 64GB storage on the Honor 7C, while we have the Kirin 659 octa-core chipset on the Honor 9 Lite. Now let's have a look at the benchmark score of these two devices to just have a idea about which is more powerful. So we can obviously say that the Kirin 659 is slightly more powerful than the Snapdragon 450. The Snapdragon 450 is a good chipset. It's an entry level chipset in the 400 series, but it's definitely more powerful than the 430 and 435, and 450 is definitely closer to the Snapdragon 625, although it's not as good as the Snapdragon 625. Now the performance is quite good on both the phones. There is no lag or issues, but when it comes to gaming, that's where the Honor 7C takes the lead, because Snapdragon 450 has better gaming experience than the Kirin 659 because of the Mali chipset, Mali GPU on the Honor 9 Lite. The gaming experience was kind of pretty much average, not really a great gaming device on the Honor 9 Lite. But so if you're looking for a gaming device out of these two devices, then the Honor 7C is better choice because of the larger display and also better chipset for gaming. And other than that, the call quality and speaker performance looks quite similar on both these devices. Now there is additional dual SIM cards and 4G LTE support on both the phones, and we have a dedicated SD card slot on the Honor 7C, while it's a hybrid SIM card slot on the Honor 9 Lite. Now the fingerprint scanner is mounted on the back panel, and both are quite similar in terms of performance. Both are pretty fast and does the job pretty well. Now next up, let's talk about the cameras. So we have a dual camera on both these devices, 13 and 2 megapixel camera combination on both the phones, f-stop 2.2 aperture, and on the front panel we have a dual camera on the Honor 9 Lite, again 13 and 2 megapixel camera, while we have an 8 megapixel front camera on the Honor 7C. Now let's have a look at the camera samples we have taken with these two devices. So looking at the captures taken with these two devices, you can hardly differentiate between these two devices in terms of the performance. The only area where the Honor 7C differs with respect to the Honor 9 Lite in terms of the camera performance is that the contrast was not very accurate at times. The contrast was a bit too higher on the Honor 9 and Honor 7C at times, but otherwise it's very difficult to distinguish between these two devices in terms of the camera performance. Both are almost similar performance, only difference being the processing abilities of the respective processors. Even the low light performance was quite similar on both the phones. Now looking at the selfie experience, this is one area where again it's very difficult to identify which is better. Only the skin tones are different, otherwise it's quite similar performance. Even with the 8 megapixel shooter, the 7C does a really good job in terms of selfie performance, but the only difference is that the 7C does not have bokeh mode or the portrait mode in the front camera, but with a dual camera setup, the Honor 9 Lite offers bokeh mode. So that's the only difference in terms of the camera. So we would say the Honor 9 Lite definitely has an edge in terms of the camera because of the dual camera on the front panel. So that's the camera aspect. Now finally the battery life. So we have 3000 mAh capacity battery on both these devices. Both have a similar capacity battery and there's no fast charging included on either of these devices. Now the Honor 7C has to power a larger display, but it's an HD panel, while the Honor 9 Lite has to power a full HD panel, but it's a smaller display. So we don't really see any major difference in terms of battery performance, quite similar battery performance on both these devices. Now talking about the pricing. The Honor 7C is priced at 9,999 for the 3GB RAM and the 32GB storage variant, while it's priced at 11,999 for the 4GB RAM and 64GB storage. Now the Honor 9 Lite is priced 3GB RAM and 32GB storage variant for 10,999, while the 4GB RAM and 64GB storage variant sells for 14,999. So which is better to buy here? So if you're looking for better gaming and you want a bigger display, obviously the Honor 7C makes better choice, and it is also 1K cheaper than the Honor 9 Lite. So if you're on a tight budget, go with the Honor 7C. But if you want, if you're not really a gamer and if you want better camera and a better display and a better design and build quality, go with the Honor 9 Lite. So out of these two devices, our choice would probably be the Honor 9 Lite because of slightly better specifications, except for the gaming. Honor 9 Lite is almost as good as the Honor 7C, if not better in terms of display and also the camera performance and also the looks. So that was the detailed comparison of the Honor 7C with the Honor 9 Lite. Hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you plan to buy these devices, we'll share the link in the description of this video. You can use our link and buy the devices. So this is Nirmal signing off. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you in our next video. Have a great day.